Well, the first thing is upfront money. You do have to provide upfront money. The second thing is you are going to be the sole editor of your book, and how your book appears is going to be up to you unless you pay extra money for that self-publishing firm to edit your book. Everything that they do other than just basically taking your manuscript and digitally producing it and having it printed is up to you to pay extra to them for. You're not going to get any marketing assistance. You're not going to get any placement assistance. You're not going to have a concern like University of South Carolina Books probably has a very good distributor for their books. Press 53, a small press, has Ingram Books, which is the largest distributor in the world, basically, to place their books. In other words, all the booksellers in the world get this catalog from Ingram Books that says you can pick these books from us to carry on your bookshelves. So that's a chance that your book gets on their bookshelf, especially if there's some buzz created about it through reviews, magazines, reviews, etc., things like this. Self-publishing doesn't carry any reputation with it. You've basically said, my book, my work is worthy of publication. It's not been vetted. You know that great word, vetted? It hasn't been vetted. In other words, you don't have a panel of an acquisition editor, a publications editor, somebody at University of South Carolina Press, an editor, and his co-editors or her co-editors who are choosing the books to publish with the set X amount of dollars that they have each year. So if you're self-publishing a book, you're basically saying my book is good enough to be read and you should read it. And you don't have anybody saying it, acquiring it, and saying this book has merit for these reasons, and we want it on our list, right? So there's something to do with reputation there, there's something to do with cost, there's something to do with even more risk, because everything is in your lap with self-publishing. You've got no reputation attached to your work, you've got no press behind you with their reputation attached to their work, there's been no vetting process, no analysis of your work. You're investing your entire life savings in some cases. People invest their entire life savings to get published in order to just be in print. And you're taking that entire risk, in addition to the risk of being known through your writing.
What does the publishing world call a self-publishing company?
A vanity press.
A vanity press.
They've gotten away from that somewhat. Self-publishing has become more reputable. There are quite a few books, like Jim Jordan's books, that are being well received. There's the young man who was 17 or so when he wrote the book Aragon, I believe it's called, about the dragon.
He was like 15, I think.
And there are books that come from the slush pile, if you want to call it a slush pile, of self-publishing, which is what all editors at most magazines and whatnot call their submissions that are set aside that aren't used. That's the slush pile that aren't solicited, right? So that big giant pile of all those books that are self-published, there are some that do rise from that, rise to the top from that and become well-known books.
But his parents also owned an independent publishing company.
So there you go, he had a connection. There's always something there. There's always, I don't care where you look for it, you're going to find a connection. You're going to find an Andre Dubus. You're going to find, in my case, a Army Wife talk radio interview and a newsletter that contained Press 53 publishers, a newsletter I produced that I've been continually sending to the Press 53 publisher information about Milspeak, which I do. I've got 200 some odd people on my newsletter list. Some of them are people I've never met. I continually send them news about Milspeak because I think somebody might know somebody else. They might say, look, this woman is really serious about this. She's committed to this. She's working her butt off. The writing that these people are doing are having an effect in the lives, not only of their lives, but other people's lives. Look, she's got the author here of Court Martial at Parris Island, the Ribbon Creek Incident, John C. Stevens III coming here to talk to her writers. She's putting it on YouTube. She's taken the effort to do that. Who's paying her to do this? Nobody. What is the reward for this? We get to sit here and have this great conversation about writing and publishing. We walk out of this door motivated, no matter what the risk is, to continue what we're doing because we simply love it. Right? It's our way of being creative. It's our way of communicating. We're writers. Admit it. Now, what other questions do you have?
I have a question, if I may. This young Marine over here, I've forgotten your name, I'm sorry.
Rich?
No, not Rich.
Jared.
Jared. I haven't heard much from you, but I'm curious why you're here and what you're working on.
I'm basically here because after I eventually get out of the Marine Corps, I want to go to college and get a degree in creative writing. I thought it'd just be a good experience to get some writing. It's
So-
all about, you know.
So you're a high
stories
school
about them.
graduate
Yes.
now, enlisted?
Yes.
Marine, here at the air station or? at the-
Yes.
Uh-huh,
I work now, it's 31.
uh-huh. When will you be getting out?
2012.
When?
Yeah. 2012, I've only been in like 2.5 years.
I see. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought this would be a good experience. Get some, write a little bit about, probably gonna write about some of my experience on an aircraft carrier. That'd be interesting.
Life on an aircraft carrier.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna be so good.
And I'm actually, I'm deploying, now, it's pretty much official now, we're gonna be leaving in March.
Yay!
For the Mediterranean.
But you can write wherever you are.
Yeah.
It probably enhances your ability.
Yeah, I'll probably do a lot of writing, nothing else to do, besides work out.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll start you a page on the website and you can just fill in, oh, you do already have a blog?
No.
No. Do an ongoing journal about your experience. That's really great.
Well, good luck.
Like, actually, I have a friend, he just left for Japan about a few weeks ago. He has a friend that is self-published.
Oh.
He wrote this book called like Branch Water, something like that.
A
He
novel?
Yes, he wrote a novel. He paid like $2,000 or something, and he got so many copies published, and he got that paid for cost of an editor and everything. But he has to push the promotion himself. He goes to bookstores and everything. He has a website himself.
You'll have to send me a link to his website, so since he's a military person, we'll have to put it on the memo and send it out on all of our, put it on the website.
Well, he's not a military.
Oh,
but
sorry
he's
about his luck.
But yeah, so he's a friend of mine. He's a friend of a friend.
How many copies has he sold, you know?
I'm not sure. I only talked to him once. But yeah, he's continually trying to push it, but he hasn't had too much luck so far. But you can go to like Barnes & Noble and they can order it for you. And sometimes they'll even have it in the bookstore. But hasn't gotten a lot of response too.
What other questions do you have for Jay? We were going to talk about that controversy some more. Are we still going to talk about that? That controversial subject? Oh, no, we kind of did about the placement, about how difficult it is and how political it's become to get things like monuments in place and to get books in bookstores, and it's very political.
Well, that troubles me. I think it's beyond disingenuous. I think it's downright dishonest. I mean, 12 years on recruiting, everything is a glossy, veneer, and really it's disingenuous. And that really, I think it's troubling that we as an institution, shy away from the truth like this.
Particularly the Marine Corps, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Marine Corps stands.
the Marine Corps has played on the mystique, and all that, and not that this is a career enhancer or anything of that sort. And you can understand why they're concerned about the PR piece of it, but still.
There's a joke, Jay, I don't know if you've heard it. It says, how many Marines does it take to have a beach landing, to take a beachhead? It says, well, it takes 2 Marines, but it takes a platoon to write the press release. And I think the opposite of that is something like this. It takes another, there was a incident, this is going to be on YouTube, but I don't know if I should say this, but there was a recruiter that murdered his children in Chattanooga, Tennessee, when I was a recruiter. He had just retired, and he'd been a career recruiter. And it has an enormous negative fallout potential in a small community in Tennessee. And I mean, it was like PR people flew in from everywhere to shut this thing down and contain the damage, as if it was like a chemical incident response team coming in to shut down this thing. And I mean, I can't tell you how many dozens of people they put on it just to cap this news story. It's the same thing, I guess, for something that we do well. There's an equal number of people that push it out to the surface.